Today I am going to go through, hang on for your perspective packet. This is the packet that you all were given before I left for my trip. It goes through various exercises starting easy and gradually getting harder as you go through them. If you take a look at the first page, this gives you an overview of what linear perspective is. There is both 1 point here and 2 point perspective here. It is important to understand, for example, perspective is created by using a horizon line. The horizon line is where you will also find the vanishing point. The object will either be below, on, or above the horizon line. You also see that there are lines that go towards the vanishing point. These are called orthogonal lines. You have vertical and horizontal lines also in your object. To better explain that, we are going to go through this little exercise using real-world objects to show a vanishing point. When looking at the object here, you will notice in this direction. I am going to use a pencil to show where these lines meet. If I put my ruler down and I draw my line, I'm going to draw one line first and then my second line, and where these two lines cross, I will find my vanishing point. So right here, you can kind of see it. This is my vanishing point. It does say with a pencil and eraser, draw the horizon line, vanishing points, orthogonal lines, and pictures. Label all of them. Please don't forget to label them. Vanishing point. This is an orthogonal line, and this is an orthogonal line. Let's put this one on. Then we have, they're not quite vertical lines, but they're pretty vertical lines. These might be your vertical lines over these. These are a little bit diagonal, but I'm going to say this is a vertical line. Vertical line. And then, so I did my orthogonal, vertical, vanishing. I have my horizon line. My horizon line is where, straight across the page, that includes my vanishing point. So roughly there. And if I wanted to do horizontal lines, I could do horizontal lines also. So these would just be horizontal. I do not believe that one's on there, but I wanted to just show you where you'd find your horizontal lines. When looking at the picture below, I'm going to start with my orthogonal lines first also. I know that I can kind of eyeball this, and I know that all these lines are kind of merging in this general area, but I want to start drawing them, and I can go back and see where the actual vanishing point is. So if I draw this, and this. I will notice that my two lines cross right here. I'm going to do one more to see if it's consistent. Whoops, that one did not follow very well. We're going to erase. Try to stay with the object. So I'm looking at this railing right here, and I'm going to stay with that, stay on top of that. So I find roughly right here is where my vanishing point is. Then I'm going to do my horizon. That's easy to do. I just go straight across through my vanishing point. So horizon, vanishing, vertical lines. I'm going to do the windows because those are easy. Vertical. And then vanishing. Orthogonal lines I did not label yet, so I'll label those. At least do 2 orthogonal lines, 2 vertical lines, 1 horizon, 1 vanishing. You can do more orthogonal lines if you want. Orthogon. This is supposed to be O's. But you only need to do 2. Alright, so in order to have this complete, your picture should look a little bit like this one. Alright, on to the next exercise. I'm going to grab a new pencil quick because I want a sharper pencil, so bear with me. Alright, in order to do this exercise, all of your boxes need to go to the vanishing point. So every corner that can go to this vanishing point is going to go there. You have some boxes that are above the vanishing point or the horizon line. You have some that are on top of the horizon line, and you have some that are below. So our lines are going to go all towards the vanishing point, and you'll be able to see the different perspective of the boxes based on where they are located. So I'm going to start, the first one is done with you. You will see the orthogonal lines here, vertical lines, horizontal lines, horizon line, vanishing point. So I'm going to start drawing in my orthogonal lines. I'm not going to draw them all the way to the vanishing point. I'm going to line up my ruler. If you would like to draw them all the way, you can, but you're going to have to do a lot of erasing. I'm just going to kind of guess how far down I want my box and only want to do it. So those are my orthogonal lines. Now I'm going to go parallel to the bottom line, my bottom horizon line, and I'm going to move my ruler down so that it's parallel the whole time, and then draw the bottom of my box. I will notice that this line, if I try to do it from this corner to the vanishing point or this corner through the vanishing point, it doesn't make sense because those go behind the box, so you would not see those. So these are the only 3 lines that I need to create for this box. I'm going to make my way to the right hand corner, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to stop my orthogonal line when I feel like I only want it to go a certain length. Same thing here. And lastly, here. Alright, now I'm going to go parallel. I'm going to go parallel vertical and parallel horizontal. And I'm going to take my eraser and erase the extra little. I have my right box in perspective. Again, it would not make sense to go from this corner because this is going to go behind the box, so you wouldn't see that line. Alright, for my side ones, I know that these are, if I would draw these 2 corners to the vanishing point, they would be behind the box, so I know I only have 2 here, and I have 2 orthogonal lines here, and that's going to be my perspective also. So I'm going to start drawing that. Inward, inward, go parallel vertical. I'm going to erase my little extra. Please make sure you go back and erase. If you overdo your boxes, go back and erase the orthogonal lines. Don't leave them. You need to make it look clean and not messy. Same thing here. 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 Okay. So my side ones are done. Now my top ones. I'm going to have a line that comes from this corner to here, this corner to here, and this corner to here, because there are 3 corners that you can easily see. It's below, so you're going to have a top view and a side view. This one is in line with the vanishing point, so the center is in line with the vanishing point. So these 2 corners you won't use, but these 2 corners you will. And then since this one's to the side, you'll have a side view and a top view. So I'm going to do that real quick. To extend a little bit. So this took me about 12 minutes to do the 2 and introduce perspective. So you should be able to get this done in one class and be moving on to your next pack or next few exercises. Like I said, they're going to gradually get a little more difficult. So for each of the letters, they have their own vanishing point and their own orthogonal lines. Every time that you can get a corner to go to the vanishing point, you need to remember to take that corner and bring it in. Let's try the A first to begin. So I know that all of these have direct access to the vanishing point, so I need to draw all those orthogonal lines. I also have a line up here depending on how thick I want my shape, and this corner can go to the orthogonal line also. So I'm going to start by drawing my lines. I'll worry about all my orthogonal lines first, and then I'll go back and do my horizontal lines and vertical lines. Some of these you need a really, really sharp pencil, so please make sure you're not working with a dull pencil. Mine's a little bit dull. I want to show you what it's like to do an orthogonal line through the A, so I'm going to draw that one too. And I'm not going to make this very thick so that you can see how this looks. So I'm going to do the first 2 sides because I know that these are parallel with this line. This one is going to be moved up because it's not the same thickness. So I'm going to determine where to put this line by drawing a straight line or a curved parallel line to this diagonal line from the corner. So I did parallel. These 2 lines are parallel. These 2 lines are parallel. So please make sure you keep them parallel to each other. And I'm going from the corner to my horizontal line. And now I connect these 2. They should match up. I'm going to erase so you can see what it looks like. So I did my orthogonal lines first. I did my horizontal lines running with the bottom edges, diagonal lines that are parallel, and then my horizontal line again here. And then I'm going to complete this one. This has to be parallel, so I'm going to make parallel lines, and this one's going to be parallel from that. So that would be what your A should look like. Notice that this area is, you could see through the A, and then these are the thickness of your A. Alright, for the L, I'm going to go corner, corner, corner. This one would go through, so I'm not going to use that corner. I won't use that corner, and I won't use that corner. So starting at the top L of the L, go downward. Here. And here. Now I'm going to draw parallel lines. I need to go parallel vertically and horizontally. So I'm going to go parallel here. This is where it'd be really important to have a really sharpened pencil. And we're going to go parallel here. Make sure you erase those extra lines. There we go. So that's very simple for your L. T is done for you. E, we notice that you can't do a line from this corner, but we can do one from this corner, and from this corner, and from this corner, this corner, this corner. Corner on this side. Remember that there is still an edge here. You have a bottom thickness you need to show and an inside thickness you need to show. So I'm going to start doing my edges, and I'm going to draw all of these parallel to these lines. So I'm going to take my ruler and move it out. This line is slightly in compared to these two, so I'm going to go slightly in when I draw that one. So there's the thickness of my E. Now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to run parallel, stopping at the corner right here. So I'm going to stop my ruler right here and go parallel to this line. So I'm just moving my ruler up. I'm going to draw a line across so that this one ends there. Now I'm going to take this corner right here. I have a little bit extra here that I'd have to go back and erase and draw up so that you see the thickness of this part of the E and the thickness of this part of the E. Same thing over here. I'm going to go from this corner right here. I'm going to go parallel and stop when I get to that corner and draw my line across. Now I have extra here. You can see the extra again, so I'd go through and erase that. I don't need that anymore. Now from the corner that I created right here, I'm going to go parallel, straight down. I'm going to erase the extra orthogonal lines that I created. Refix what I might have erased. So I have the thickness of the E here, on top side, on the inside side, and on the bottom, and then again on the right hand side. So that is my E. Alright, let's move on to the W. This one probably is a little bit of the trickiest one. I'm going to go straight down, down again. This one. Corner. Corner again. This one would run through my W, so I'm not going to draw that one at all. That corner, and lastly this corner. Alright, now I'm going to start drawing my lines across. They're all even, they're parallel, so I'm going to just draw all three of them at the same time. Then I'm going to go parallel to this line of the W and move my ruler so that I hit this corner right here. So I'm going to go, when I hit it, then I'm going to draw my line parallel. So I have extra here that I need to go back and erase. Then this created a corner, and that's a corner. So I'm going to connect those two corners, making sure that I stay parallel. And then I have nothing there, but I do have this line that will connect to the side of the W. So I'm going to run parallel from this corner and there. So you see top, side, side, top. This one, again, you wouldn't see this side right here, the thickness of this side, because the vanishing point is over here. If it was right here, you wouldn't see it, but if it was over here, you would definitely see some of it. So let's erase. And that would be your completed W. Go through and fix your lines that might have gotten erased. Okay. Alright, for the real world objects, I am going to actually stop the video currently. I'm going to do these shapes in perspective, stars in perspective, and real world objects in perspective in the next video. So please work on the first few exercises and then come back to see the next ones.